you'll be able to save the transaction.
Cool.
Very similar, adding in wholesalers, so that way we know where our items are coming from, or if we happen to, be friends or have even another pharmacy that we do a 222 trade with, kind of like the pharmacy technician, we can add in where our C2s could be going to or from.
Okay. What if we, because we have pharmacists who regularly float between two stores, how would the login be for that? Would they have to have separate login passwords or names, or could they just use the same one?
That's a really good question. I might have to ask that.
Did you unmap the old lisinopril?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to double check on that. I don't know if we've had people using. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I'll find out and I'll get that answer for you.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. All right. So the next thing would be adding in inventory. So this is a process that, takes just a little while to begin with, and then, of course, it's just maintenance after that. When we add in a drug, so I'm on the inventory maintenance page right here. Two things on this page. We do have what I love right here, a stock on hand report. Comes in really handy. We can just click on that button, and then it'll generate a report that will bring up every document I've got on here. And gives you a snapshot of everything that's in your inventory in that moment. And often pharmacies will use this, and they will do an inventory. I'm not sure if California, I can't remember if it's annual or if it's every 2 years that you have to do an inventory, and then actually it may be every quarter.
Yeah, we're every quarter.
Quarter? Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, this document can be used for something like that, but it's also nice to see a snapshot of everything that you have. To add a drug, we do have preloaded quite a few NDCs, maybe not every NDC out there, but in the case that it isn't, this drug name can be typed in here. And the strength, I've already got this one added in, but maybe this is a different manufacturer than I had before. We do have the ability to track between C2s and then 3s, 4s, and 5s.
Okay.
We did have some of our clients that wanted to track Ambien or Soma or just something else that was either important to them or maybe important to their board of pharmacy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah. And then the NDC goes in here. When you click on the field, this brings up the drop down of everything that we have in the system. And you can just start typing in. I don't have a bottle in front of me at the moment. But anyway, if you start typing and it comes up, you'll know that it's in there. If not, and then I just erase it.
And you can type drug name or number.
Yeah.
All right.
And then once you've got your NDC in there, it's easier to just click on the blue bar underneath it. We've added a UPC field. We haven't completely got that built out yet. We'll say that this bottle has 100 in it, and then we'll add the drug. And I'm going to use my personal one here. So when we log the transaction, so this could be like adding drugs in for the first time, or once you've got them in your inventory, I'll show you that it looks a little bit different. But anyway, you just log it, and then you can see right here that the inventory has been added. Let's see. When you receive your order in from the day, I just go under this record inventory transaction. I choose the drug that let's say I received some Focalin today. I got a bottle of 100. put your DEA 222 form in there if you like to track that. And then it's coming from, we're going to say it's going to come from Cardinal today. And then if you want to put a note in there, you can. We just added a note field because sometimes, we need notes for things.
Right.
And so we'll just log it. And there you go.
Can we scan the bottles that can auto-populate the information?
Do you have a scanning function, Katie?
We're working on building that out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Right. Let's see. Logging a prescription. So just on the daily use of C2s, we go to this log prescription. The thing that's nice is you can pull down the drop down from, this is the inventory that I have in my mock inventory. And so it's kind of nice because, every NDC out there isn't in here. It's only what you have in your inventory. So it makes it easy to either identify the drug that you're looking for or you can start typing in the for as well. We're going to say we're going to just hit 30 to this person and we're going to keep track of the prescription number. You also have the opportunity to track the patient's name and the doctor name, but these fields are not mandatory. Just it kind of depends on your preference. So we'll say we're going to give this one to Jay Smith, and we're going to by Dr. Jones, and we're going to click log it. And one thing I forgot to show you a second ago is right here, before we finish putting in our credentials, you can see that the previous stock on hand is this. My new stock on hand, because I'm dispensing 30, is this. And I like to stop at this screen for a second, especially if I'm the one in charge of making sure my inventory is super correct. So I'm like, okay, do I have 638? Oh, yep, I've got 6 full bottles. And let me just that count this. Yep, I've got 38 in there. That way I just have that extra double check of that my inventory is accurate. As soon as I'm done with that, I click log it. And it's in there.
Cool.
Yeah. If you want to just look at a certain drug, we can go into inventory maintenance back over here. And let's see, I've been playing around with Focalin today. What was it? It's this one. So let's say, oh gosh, did I just log that? I can't remember, or just for something. We can click that screen or that view right there. We can see all the transactions that we've done.
Nice.
And yeah, and we can see the one that we just did right here. We added 100 in a few minutes ago, and we just dispensed 30 right there.
And are those column sorters? I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah,
cool.
it looks
Okay.
like it. Yeah, and one thing that's nice too is, let's say, oh my goodness, I just dispensed this under Focalin 10, and I meant to do Focalin 20. We have a short rollback period where if you can realize within 5 minutes that you've made a complete error, you can completely delete the transaction completely out of your system. Otherwise, if it goes beyond this countdown, then you just have to do a transaction to it with a note that says, I added this back into my inventory because I accidentally logged it incorrectly. But, sometimes we get busy, we accidentally pull up the wrong drug or something, and it's like, oh no, I just realized it. And so we have a short 5-minute period before it's in there permanently. Nice. All right, so sometimes we have a broken, dropped, expired, or manufacturer shorted situation that we like to log so that we have a really good trail. So this just gives you the opportunity to select what drug it is, how many pills it is. Usually those are like 1 or 2 tablets. But I still think it's nice because, sometimes you have that broken pill and you're like,
oh yeah, I get that all the time.
Off. Yeah, and so we added that because it just, I don't know, when I'm in charge of a speech inventory, I like it to be like perfect. And then, everything's good. And we don't have to get sloppy and like be like, no, a couple here, a couple there, you know. I've been through a situation where we had a pharmacist that stole, it was hydrocodone, so it wasn't a C2 at the time. It was right before it went C2, but still, I mean, they come in and they want all these reports and, you know, then they check some other things and they found that this pharmacy I was in charge of, you know, some of their counts were kind of off, and it's like, oh boy, you know, they need to look at everything when they want to. So. All right, so we do have a reporting feature too, and my internet's a little bit slow, so it might take a second to load this. But sometimes it's nice if we want to just look at either a certain patient and see all of their transactions, or if we want to look at a doctor and look, you know, at that, or if it's just a certain drug or it a lot of drugs. And so this will load quicker. Wait a second. Oh my goodness, ever since we had that CenturyLink outage here, sometimes I swear my internet is still having issues. Were you guys affected by that at all?
I don't think so. We have, Spectrum is our carrier here in Bakersfield, so.
Okay. Yeah, we had like, I don't know, I think most of Utah, most of Idaho, most of us were, that had CenturyLink. For like 1 hours, we had nothing. Well, okay. It doesn't show up. Do you have any questions so far?
No, I like what I see. One of the questions we have with our current software is when we do our reconciliation, when we do the reconciliation, the board doesn't care about like NDC specific. So what we're having to do is like, say we have 3 different manufacturers of Norco. You know, then like, we have to like go into each individual one and print them out and then add them all together, which is kind of painful. So like when you guys do reconciliation here, is it able to just pull it from, you know, type of drug, like hydrocodone, and not really care about, you know, NDC specific?
Well, everything's logged to NDC specific, so, you know, when we do...
What about the report? Does it group them all together so we can easily just add them?
Yeah, let me go back to this report right here. Yeah, so all the hydrocodones, we've got 2 of the 5-25s right there. So yeah, they all go kind of in alphabetical-ish type order and then numerical as well. So, I don't know, this might make it decently easy because you can see that you have 680 total by 325.
Yeah.
Different size bottles.
I like the column sorter because at least I can alphabetize the drugs and then I can just easily add up the quantities. So that's nice.
Awesome.
And did I see like when you download that SOH report, is it exported in a certain format or?
It is Excel.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Yeah, I figured that was probably one of the most universal.
Yeah.
All right, so yay.
There you go.
The report utility loaded. Okay, so
that's pretty robust.
we just want certain of reports. We have the given the ability. This is kind of like the default everything report. If you want to be choose certain things, you can just click on this. It'll uncheck mark everything, and then you can say, oh, let's just look at dropped pills, or let's just look at return stocks, or a certain doctor, or any combination of those. pharmacist and technician even. Let's do is and we could just do a full on kind of an everything. And here's the report. You can save it as a PDF or you can export it as Excel. Either way.
Nice.
Yep, just kind of, it's, yeah, it was kind of nice. And it in the everything, it even shows you the date that it was logged. There's even a timestamp on there. And,
Very cool.
oh, I think it's just because my screen isn't wide enough. Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of detail on there. Oh yeah, and outgoing or incoming doctor, if that was something we were looking for, where it came from, who dispensed it. So yeah, a lot of fields, but you can also make it so that you don't want everything, and then you don't have to remove
Yeah.
columns and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Is there, I mean, I kind of saw it, but is there like administrative level control? So like, I'm the director, so I could, have kind of administrative powers, and then when I add employees in, I can delegate their functions and so forth.
That we are working on beefing that up a little bit. Yes, you can add them in, and the biggest thing is
Like for instance, if I wanted to reset someone's password, I could do that, or
they can actually reset their own password.
okay.
Actually, like if I want to reset this one, I just click change pin.
Okay.
They can just go in and find their name in here. I think deactivation of people, let's say they, are no longer working for you.
Yeah.
We go in and do that because I don't think we have a way for you to do that. So let me just double check.
Okay.
We'll just go in and do it really quick for you. But yeah, we're working on an upgrade so that there is like a administrator level versus, pharmacist versus technician.
Gotcha.
And yeah, we're still working out a few bugs on that before we upload it into the system. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Sounds good.
Great. Oh, and I will get back with you on the question on the 2 sites, 1 user, 1 login.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, if we do decide to roll out with you guys, I would have to cover 3 pharmacies.
Okay.
So, and right now what we have is, like we log in, but sometimes we have to use a different, login for each pharmacy, so it's kind of confusing for us. So.
Okay. Yeah, because so far we've done it site by site. So are the 2 pharmacies? Are they 3 different locations?
Yeah, there are 3 different locations, all county owned.
Okay.
Yeah. So what our current software does is it allows us to use our login email and then let us pick which store we're working at.
Okay.